Hello. Welcome to the CRAV'IN IRON Podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Fiora. Today I'm here with John Woodrum. This is episode 22. How's it going, John?
Good, man. How are you?
Not too bad, brother. Not too bad at all.
Good.
So this podcast is for everybody. It's not just for demo crew members or just action-sighted individuals. We're just this podcast, the goal for this is to get people's story out there. And John, you hit me up and you let me know your story. And all I got to say is, goddamn.
Yeah, it's been crazy, man.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting your story out there and getting to know you a little better and letting everybody that's going to be watching this podcast get to know you.
Cool.
So to start, how was the 4th? How was celebrating your freedom?
It was good, man. It was good. A good holiday. Got to hang out with my boys. I have my kids for this holiday, so that's always a plus. Got to hang out, do some fireworks, that kind of thing, and just, enjoy some family time. So, well, man.
Yeah. We did the same thing. We bought some fireworks. We kind of went out late to buy the fireworks, and I'm talking like I got off work at 1500 here, which is, I believe, 7 o'clock there or 5 o'clock there. But anyways, I got off work, went to town, and would look for fireworks, and most of them were sold out, and they jacked the prices up on all the fireworks.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Every chance they get.
Oh, yeah. But, we ended up scoring some and shot them off. And in Lake Havasu, when you're sitting in the like your back porch or in your backyard, you could just see people's backyards lighting up from fireworks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but anyways, so John, let's get to know you a little bit. What's your story? Where are you from? Kids? You said you had kids, and
yeah, man. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I grew up around Winder, Georgia, and I've been in the North Georgia mountains in Hiawassee, Georgia, for about 15 years now. I got 2 little boys. They're 6 years old. They're twins, identical twins, Jackson and Gray. They'll be 7 here in a couple of months on September 8th. So I'm a chef by trade. I'm a private chef. I do private gigs around the mountains, around the area. And I do carpentry during the week, Monday through Friday, and I bounce on the weekends. So stay pretty busy, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to take a little time off whenever I have the kids. I got partial custody of them. So when I get them, I take a little time off. But besides that, I'm, between work and the gym, I'm, pretty busy. So
that's pretty cool. You said you're a chef, huh? You said you travel for chef to be the chef.
I just go to people's houses, like residential type things, cook for them in their kitchen. Like grocery shop, bring my groceries, and kind of get an idea what they want, and go to their place and cook in their kitchen, and present it to them and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool. It's different, always something different. Not the same old thing, same old grind every day. So I get to do those, maybe a few of those a month. Kind of supplement. I was a chef full time, and I went to Le Cordon Bleu, and I've been a chef since then, since 2009. And I got a divorce from my wife, my kid's mom, and now I get them 2 or 3 weekends a month, and it's kind of hard to run a restaurant without and have kids. You know what I mean? Because weekends are so crazy in the restaurant. So
yeah,
I had to take a little time off and get into other things. So. I'm much happier for it, man. I'd much rather spend the time with my kids instead of working crazy hours like that. So.
Yeah, no kidding. And you carpentry, huh?
Yeah, I do carpentry, just kind of Monday through Friday, like a lot of finishing work, some small stuff, build and rebuild a lot of decks and, outdoor stuff like that, and everything from tile to a little bit of electric work, just small things, a few of us on the crew, 3 of us, and we stay busy with it.
It's one of those small businesses with just a couple people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, when I was working construction, same thing, and I mean, I think that's the best work. You get like a lot of appreciation from the owners of like houses that you're working on and shit. We did underground.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we did underground construction, and I can't tell you how many times I would go there and I'd like fix their pipelines or the water line or sewage line, whatever. And it'd just be me and my boss. And then afterwards, they're like, "Hey, it's pretty hot out here. Come inside and get a beer." It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, people are cool like that. We got this one lady that we remodeled her whole kitchen. So we did some things and had to waive her cabinets to come back in, and went and did her cabinets, and we're there all the time. But every day we're there, she cooked us lunch. Last time we were there, we did her cabinets, but she had been waiting for quite a while for her cabinets to come in, so she cooked us like a big, huge ribeye steak for lunch. It was probably a 20-ounce bone-in ribeye from a local cow there in her area. You know what I mean? For coming and doing her cabinets, like
Yeah.
yeah, we run across a few cool people like that.
Yeah, it's always the older generation that do that for you. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, they respect it. Boomer status.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But all right. So you said you're from Georgia?
Yeah, I'm from Georgia. Well, originally from Jacksonville, but I've been up in Georgia my whole life. I was raised up here, so
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I know you have a big story to get to. So you said you were recently married, and you guys are divorced. How long has that been?
It was actually in 2017. I'm sorry, 2016, July 2016 when we split, and then it took us about a year to actually get our divorce finalized. But July 2016 was the end of it. So
Okay.
it's been a little while, but those kind of things take a little while to, work out and get things back to normal. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, of course, especially when kids are involved.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it sounds like you guys are doing what you got to do as parents.
Yeah, exactly. That's what counts, man.
Yeah.
We're not the important ones. This is about the boys. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and twins. 7's a good age.
Yeah.
That's when you can start like messing around with them and training them.
Yeah, we roughhouse wrestle around a bit. They're huge WWE fans. They're absolutely obsessed with WWE.
Oh, geez.
And which is not a thing that I watch, but now I know everything about it through them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So all they talk about is WWE, and they're like into, because I've changed my life here recently, and they've like seen that change. So now they're all into going to the gym. They just like, there's like a playroom in my gym, and the whole time when they're in the playroom, they're doing like push-ups and sit-ups and running in place, and they're all about eating healthy and you know what I mean, that kind of thing. So it's a fun age, you know what I mean. They're becoming little boys instead of babies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's especially seeing like their dad go through a transformation like that. Just they rubbed off on them. They're like a sponge, and that's why it's such a good age, because you can mold them into good men, to grow
Definitely.
up into good men. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And watching every move you're making.
Yeah, that's
Especially
the goal.
working what you said you work like 3 jobs now.
Yeah, I work a good bit. Like I say, the catering, the private chef things, just a few times a month or whatever, and but Monday through Friday carpentry, and then like I say, I bounce on the weekends. So stay pretty busy, man. I'm able to bounce on the weekends. I go in late at night. I kind of put them to bed and then go to work, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, with a sitter, which is the reason I got into that. That way I didn't lose any time with them. You know what I mean? So it's worked out well for me, man. I enjoy it. So
yeah, it's nice working at night, just because no one notices you're gone and you can still have that family time.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So all right, so you have a big story to tell, and I'm going to get into it now. So what happened? So we talked about it before, and you said it happened in 2016. You were what, 425 pounds?
Yeah, but I was 425 pounds when I went to the hospital. It actually happened right after I told you I split with my wife in July, and I think a lot of the reason, or I know a lot of the reason why it didn't work out between us is because we was all constantly fighting, and 75% of it was about my health, and because there towards the end, we had did a sleep study. I went for quite a while with sleep apnea, severe sleep apnea. And I wasn't sleeping at nighttime. I could only sleep in maybe 30-minute spurts, and I would never get to like REM sleep. I would never like dream or get real rest. It was just like dozing. And I remember at nighttime I would pray for the sun to come up because I absolutely could not wait to be able to get up and out of the bed. And it was just, my nights were miserable, but my days were opposite. The days where I could not stay awake. I literally became narcoleptic after a while, and that was obviously a huge problem for her. And she tried to get me to go to the doctor and do something about it and all that. And I was just, a little younger and maybe scared and just kind of brushed it off as, I'm just like, getting fat and lazy, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? And just didn't take it as serious as I should. And like I say, we had finally called it quits in July 2016. And then November, I believe it was November 6th of 2016, I had just went and bought a new Jeep. I had told my then wife that I wanted a new Jeep, and she told me no. So as soon as we split, I went and got a new Jeep, and I'd had it for probably 3 or 4 days, less than a week, anyways, and I fell asleep behind the wheel and totaled it, which wasn't, like I said, wasn't out of the norm for me. I was narcoleptic. I would fall asleep. The week before I went into the hospital, I fell asleep in the shower twice that week, and on my way down, knocked down the hot water fixture, the cold water fixture, the nozzles, just knocked it all down, water spraying everywhere, you know what I mean? And I just slept right through it, you know what I mean? I did it twice that week. And I remember I would stand, I'd want to stay awake, so I'd stand right directly in front of my TV, my TV like right here in my face. And I would just fall down and pass out, you know what I mean? I was literally narcoleptic. And so anyway, I totaled my Jeep that morning, and that day I decided that I was going to go see my doctor and see what was going on. As soon as I seen him, he was like, go to the emergency room, now.
So did he like tell you what was going on, or like, hey?
Not really. He didn't say much. I mean, we explained to him my problems, that I was narcoleptic and I wasn't sleeping. I've been diagnosed with sleep apnea, and while I was in the visit, I was falling asleep over and over. I couldn't stay awake for him to talk to me.
Oh, when you were talking to the doctor?
Yeah. I mean, I was, and he's seen that, and he was like, go to the hospital. So I did, and that night I got there, and like I said, they weighed me, and I was 425 pounds, and they had to put me on a respirator. And before that, like I quit breathing several times, and they had to resuscitate me several times. I think it was like 4 or 5 times. And they kept bringing me back, and they tried to put me on a breathing like machine tube, and it was too heavy, so it wouldn't inflate my chest.
Mm.
And so they had to put like a hose down and do it with a bag manually. And they called the life flight, and the life flight got there, and I was too heavy for the helicopter. The helicopter didn't want to take me. So I had to be transported to Gainesville, which is the bigger hospital near where I live. And
this is while you're going in and out of breathing, is when all this is going on?
Yeah. I mean, I would fall asleep and then completely quit breathing, you know what I mean? And then a few minutes later, I'd catch myself or whatever. But it got to that point, just happened to be the day that I decided to go to the doctor. Like, that was the end of the road, you know what I mean? Like I said, they lost me several times that night. And if I wouldn't have went, I would have, I definitely wouldn't have made it through that night. And they transported me by ambulance to Gainesville, and I got there, and they pumped 94 pounds of water off my body because I was completely filled and bloated with water. My toes were spread apart, my fingers were spread apart. I couldn't put my shoes on. It's because I was dying. I was filling with fluid. You know what I mean? And at this time, I was narcoleptic, but I was still working 40 hours a week as a chef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would, like literally fall asleep, trying to make food orders and stuff like that. And, just big and swollen and, couldn't, I'm walking up to my kitchen back then, there was a very slight incline hill and I had to stop 2 or 3 times. And, I thought I was going to die before I could make it up there to the elevator to get to my kitchen. And, but anyways, I got there and they pumped like 94 pounds of water off my body and put me into induced coma. And my lungs were a quarter of the size they were supposed to be. They had shrunk up. My lungs were about gone, and they didn't think I was going to make it. So while I was in my coma, they called in my brother and my brothers and my sisters and some family from Florida and my preacher and all that, and basically said to come see me and come say your goodbyes because I wasn't going to come out of the coma. And
this is after you were transported when you went into a coma?
Yep, they put me into the induced coma to try to make me heal, try to save my life.
Okay.
And I didn't think I was going to make it or whatever. And the coma thing, like I had, I was asleep for 21 days from November 6th to November 28th. I slept straight through Thanksgiving.
That's
and all
crazy.
that stuff. And I actually had 2 dreams. The whole 21 days, I had 2 dreams, and I remember them perfectly. And it was like you were almost semi-conscious because I knew kind of what was going on around me. I could feel like, whenever there was like someone else in the room, like I could feel like certain people. Like honestly, I felt like my mom. I could always feel my mom was there with me. And but she never left me. She'd leave the room, but she stayed in the hospital for the 40 days or whatever I was in there, and slept next to me in the chair. And I could always tell whenever she had her hands on me, you know what I mean? Because it like brought me like a lot of peace because I was, I was in a coma, but it was, it was scary. I was having horrible dreams, and it was just, and I was, so close to death, and I don't know how to explain, but I could feel it, and it was a real like sickening feeling. And like I remember my preacher coming in and speaking to me, and I don't remember what he said,
while
but
you were in coma?
yeah, I just remember him being there. You know what I mean? At that time, I kind of felt like it was a dream or something.
Yeah.
But
Now you said you had a couple dreams and you remember them. What were those? And were they like were they like as clear as day, like they were real, or you knew they were a dream?
they were. I mean, they were. They felt real to me. One of them was, kind of a, kind of personal, kind of, bad dream. And the second one I'll talk about, it was they were both ridiculously crazy dreams. The second one was about a chicken. Okay. I live in the mountains. I live in the North Georgia mountains, and there's a lot of cabins around there. And in the dream, I was at a friend's house. I don't know who it was, but I was at a friend's house in a cabin that was on stilts looking down the mountain. And he had chickens running everywhere.
Mm.
And there was this one particular chicken that was lost most of his feathers and was real skinny and rotting, alive but rotting, and you could smell it. And it would just walk, and that was the whole dream. It was just about that. Me watching that chicken just walk around. It was a rotten chicken still alive, but it was, rotten and dying. You know what I mean?
Zombie chicken dream.
Yeah. And I feel like, like looking back on it, I feel like I was that chicken. You know what I mean? I was like alive and I was still kicking and moving, but I was like in the worst state I could possibly be in. You know what I mean? Just health wise and mentally, physically. I just went through my divorce, just, went through leaving my wife and, my two-year-old twin boys, and went from that, and then went, got severely sick, went to the coma, that kind of thing. So it was a hard time in my life. But like I say, I was asleep for 21 days. I remember waking up. And I rolled over, and my mom was sitting beside me, And one of the first things she said to me was, "How long do you think you had been asleep?" And I was like, hour and a half. Like, I literally thought I took a nap, and I thought I was still at the original hospital that I went into. I thought I was still in my hometown. And she was like, "Well, son, you've been asleep for 21 days." And, that like broke my heart. You know what I mean? I realized that I had slept through Thanksgiving, and I hadn't seen my kids in a month. You know what I mean? And all this stuff would just hit me at once, and hit me that, that I had lost my wife and lost my family, and I did this to myself, and I'm sick, I'm dying, I can't move. 'Cause when I woke up, I had literally like zero muscle mass. I woke up 100 pounds lighter. I woke up at 325 pounds versus 425, and my legs were like, I always have big, solid legs. You know what I mean? It was, I was born with them. And I looked down at my legs, and they were like tiny. You know what I mean? They looked like chicken legs. You know what I mean? On this huge body, and because I had lost that much muscle, and I couldn't move, man. Like if I had to, I couldn't roll over on my side. I couldn't do nothing. So if I had to take a shit, man, I'd, had to buzz the nurse. A few of them would come roll me over, put a bedpan underneath me, roll me back. You know what I mean? I would take a shit, and they'd roll me over and clean me. It was extremely, extremely humbling. And it just takes time, man. I had to, learn to walk again on my own. I had to learn to brush my teeth, to comb my hair, to shave, because my motor functions was gone. My hand-eye coordination was gone. I didn't, I couldn't control it. And I had to start, like the Kill Bill #1 when she's like, "Wiggle your big toe." That's really how to start. I had to wiggling my toes and twisting my feet, and you know what I mean. And then move my ankles and lifting my knees and starting to roll over. And it took me a couple of weeks to be able to do anything. And my motivation was my kids. I just wanted to see my kids. And I was in ICU and stuff like that, so the kids couldn't come up there. And I just wanted to get the hell out of the hospital. And they were talking about sending me to a 6-month live-in rehab facility. And I was like, no fucking way. So, like I said, I just started moving around, trying to exercise, doing what I could to become mobile again. And I got to where I could, well, I remember one night I woke up in the middle of the night and had to use the bathroom, so I went, and I didn't want to call anybody to help me. You know what I mean? It was extremely embarrassing for me. So I got up and I made it to the bathroom, and I got onto the toilet and did what I needed to do, and sat there for about 30 to 40 minutes afterwards, trying to regain a little bit of strength and a little bit of breath. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, my lungs were really undersized, and I just I had no energy, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't do anything.
And obviously, this
So,
is after some therapy, and you've already been moving a little bit before this.
yeah, I'd move. I'd stand on the side of my bed and maybe take a couple of steps and go back to my bed. But this was the farthest I had gone. It was literally just across the hospital room to the bathroom. And when I went to get back up, even though I waited 30, 40 minutes, I couldn't get back up. Um, several female nurses actually had to come in there and help me up off the toilet and stuff. And like I'm 325 pounds, so it took a few of them, and I'm in there with my pants down on the toilet, and it was just the whole thing was extremely embarrassing, extremely humbling. You know what I mean? And but like I said, I worked on it a little bit every day, and then I'd start going out the hallway and then taking a few more steps every day. And my therapist would come in and with me, and she'd help me. We'd brush my teeth every morning and shave, and I got to where I was finally able to shower a little bit myself. You know what I mean, with my walker and stuff like that.
Sounds like they were on their game when it comes to.
Yeah, they worked with me well. I mean, the hospital took great care of me. You know what I mean? The nurses was extremely cool. They were simple. They were really like sympathetic to my situation, and took really good care of me. My mom was there and made sure that happened. Like I say, my mom was there for the whole 40 days or whatever I was there, and she was on top of them. She made sure I was taken care of. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like she's like Mama Bear. You know what I mean? She definitely like she made sure I was taken care of.
Well,
And like I said, a few weeks I was there for, 3 weeks or so after I woke up, and was finally able to go home because I had a goal, and I was supposed to walk to the end of my hallway, walk back, and then get into bed and go for a certain amount, or had to get my oxygen level up and keep it at that level for a certain amount of time, or they let me go. I finally did. I finally was able to make that walk, and then I get my oxygen level back up and maintain it, And they finally let me go, and they let me go with a CPAP machine, which I still sleep on now. It's like a breathing machine basically that works your lungs for you. And I went home. I didn't have to go to the rehab facility. I went home, and I was down for a few months there at the house. It took me a couple months to get back to work, and when I didn't ever go anywhere. I didn't want to. I was embarrassed because I had to walk with a walker and an oxygen tank, pulling an oxygen tank wherever I went. And I'm like, I'm like 30 years old, and I'm like walking around on a walker with oxygen. It's like ridiculous. So I never went anywhere. But they actually tried to, get me to like not work anymore and like offer me like Social Security benefits and stuff like that. And I was like, no way. I gotta, I was dying to get back to work. You know what I mean? At that time, I was cooking, and I missed it with everything I had, and worked up the strength a few minutes later to get back in the kitchen, and got back in the kitchen and did that, and then I never really changed my ways. It was an eye opener. It brought me, it brought me closer to God, and I had more of appreciation for life, that kind of thing. But I was still living a very somber lifestyle, you know what I mean, and eating whatever the hell I wanted to, and eating fast food, like, a few meals a day sometimes, and in the kitchen always like tasting everything and constantly, you know what I mean?
Oh, especially as a chef.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
imagine.
And because I'd work the pass, everybody would put their plates up in front of the pass, and I would taste everything before it went to the table. You know what I mean? Like, I have like a couple of plastic spoons, and I literally take a bite out of, any pasta or any sauce, or so I'm constantly all day long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got back up to 380 pounds, and this time it wasn't water, and it was straight fat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this time my boys were about 5 years old, and my boy Gray kept asking me questions like, he was like, "Daddy, will I be fat?" Or "Daddy, am I still skinny?" That kind of thing. He would never hurt my feelings, but I knew what he was getting at. He was afraid because I was, this big fat dude. You know what I mean? And that started bothering me hardcore. And I went out of town, went to visit some friends in my hometown where I grew up, and I got a hotel. And I got there and I went to get in the shower at the hotel, and I took off my clothes, and as I was going to the shower, I passed by a full mirror, which I don't have a full mirror. Like, I might have never looked at a full mirror.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just like stopped in my track and looked at myself, and I was like completely disgusted. I was like, all right, this was a Friday night. I was like, all right, Monday I'm going to change my life. And so I got out of the shower and I ordered Chinese food, right? Ate all this Chinese food and just killed it all weekend. Ate whatever I wanted to, just killed the weekend. And then Monday morning I got up and took a picture of myself and went to the gym. And went to the gym, 5 days that week, and cut out any fast food. I cut out anything white, like no breads, no rice, no grits, no potatoes, very little carbs, no sugars or sweets, water only. Basically just lean cuts of meat and lots of vegetables, which worked for me because like I have a chef background, so I knew what to do with them.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So I was able to get a little more creative than I think a lot of people are, which definitely helped me out. But I lost 16 pounds my first week, and that gave me like a lot of drive and motivation. I ended up losing around 30 pounds my first month, and then 6 months, I was just doing a lot of cardio, man. I was doing a lot of weighted cardio. I started out little, then ended up, building it more and more. And I was also lifting, but I was at the gym for, assessing like 3 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. And, I got to where I would just turn the incline all the way up and wear a hoodie and sweats and grab a 45-pound plate, hug it, and just hoof it. You know what I mean? And I would just be complete, just sweat till I couldn't sweat anymore. You know what I mean? And I was doing intermittent fasting that time. So I was working in the evenings. So I would wake up in the morning and go to the gym and then fasted and then not break my fast until like 3. And I would just eat from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., just a 5-hour window. And I was doing like 1,800 calories a day was my goal. I definitely had days where I was eating 1,200, or I had days I was eating 2,000, but 1,800 was my goal.
Well, it's definitely hard to hit like I do intermittent fasting every now and then. It's hard to, you got that little window you got to make. And if you miss one meal, you kind of don't get your window.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy to blow that for sure.
Yeah.
But I did that. I actually got pretty hardcore into fasting on weekends. When I did work my day job, I was just bouncing at nighttime. I actually would do 24-hour fast a couple of days a month or a couple of times a month, which is probably not the best way to do it, but I would eat at 3 p.m. and then eat again at 3 p.m. the next day. And I was getting my calories in, you know what I mean? And making sure I was full with electrolytes and all that stuff. But, I really got into the fasting thing. And it really felt good for me, man. Like, honestly, after a 24-hour fast, I mean, it sounds crazy, but I was faster and stronger than I'd been all week, because I feel like it puts your body in like almost like a survival mode. You know what I mean? I'm just more focused, and it was always a good workout, and I enjoyed it. But it took me 6 months, man. On the 6 months to the date, I got on the scale and I was exactly 100 pounds down. So it took me that 6 months to do that. And then after that, I really slowed down my cardio and started focusing on lifting. And that's what I've been doing ever since, man. It's been 17 months today, actually, since I started working out. And I'm still down that same 100 pounds, you know what I mean? I'm not really trying to get much lighter, maybe a few more pounds, but I'm trying to hold on to them. I've always been that big, thick guy, you know what I mean? I like being strong. I like being powerful, you know what I mean? I'm not looking to become real cut or nothing like that. I just want to be big and powerful, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, you got the body for it already.
Yeah. So that's what I do, man. I'm there. I'm in the gym 5-6 days a week, and I try to lift heavy just pretty much every day that I'm there. I try to take a week out of the month where I'm doing a lot of reps, low weight type stuff, to keep my cardio up. And I'll do a mile before I get started, something like that, before I warm up. But mainly just focusing real hard on the weights and just getting bigger and getting stronger. So
nice. So I got you sent me some photos. I'd like to share them in actually a video too.
right.
Let me get that. All right. So this video I'm about to play, this was when you were in coma.
Right.
And yeah, I'll play it, and it's pretty intense.
Yo, man, you need to wake up, bro. I'm gonna show you this video when you wake up. So whenever you get up, I'll show it to you. So wake the hell up.
And you said that was who is that?
That was my big brother. 12 years older than me. Video's intense, man. It's hard for me to watch. You know what I mean? It's brings back a lot of memories, and a lot of bad feelings and stuff. But I'm also grateful at the same time. You know what I mean? Like come from where I was to where I am now.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things, like, count your blessings, because I mean you push through that, and especially at that hard time. I mean I can't even imagine going through divorce, and I mean just it all hit you at once, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Usually most or a lot of people, they'd probably quit and stop fighting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing that I see, you push through. They even brought your family there and said, "Hey, say your goodbyes just in case." But I mean, it's kind of one of those things like you have nothing to lose, but I mean, you just fought through it, and
Yeah.
now your kids see that, and I mean, it's pretty inspiring, like motivational.
Yeah. The kids love it, man. Like the kids like think I'm an absolute superhero now. You know what I mean? And they really love it. I mean, that was my main goal. You know what I mean? I want to be like, I want to make my kids proud. I want to be like, you know, like that's my daddy. You know what I mean? I want them to be really proud of who I am and what I've become, where I came from. You know what I mean? So.
Well, and now when they grow up, they're gonna remember this forever.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
you know, it's gonna make them strong like their dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if something happens to them, they're gonna look back on this and say, you know what, my dad been through worse, and I can do this. There's no stopping them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be because it's because your choice to keep going forward. It's pretty good. All right, so which one's I have a couple pictures here. Which one's the first one?
The last one you were at, that was my first day that I woke up and decided that I was going to go to the gym.
Is this the hotel room?
No, this was the Monday morning.
Oh yeah, I
I
got you.
woke up in my bedroom and had a picture taken of me because I was on my way to the gym.
And you said you were 380 pounds on this one, right?
380 pounds, yep. And I'm 6'3".
And then you got this one here. It looks like you lost a lot.
Yeah, that was the exact 6 months to the date. That's 100 pounds down right there.
That's crazy. I mean, you can see it in everything. You even got more abs than me.
Yeah, it was a grind, man. It was every day, you know. I mean, not just physically, but mentally too, you know.
Yeah, no kidding. And then there you are.
Yeah, that's me now. It's my most recent gym selfies. That's where I'm at now, man. And you know, like I say, there's no stopping. There's no going back. You know what I mean? It's only uphill from here. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see your definition that you've been pushing it hard.
Yeah.
You know? And how long ago was this here? This
That's
to this here?
16 months.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
All right, let me get out of this. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, man, that's some intense shit, and you've been through a lot. Thank God for helping you through that, and yeah, it's one of those things they say, count your blessings.
Yeah, it's been good, man. I've had the chance to inspire a lot of people. Like through my story, I get a lot of direct messages anytime I share on any kind of platform or just on my personal social media. You know what I mean? I got probably 5 or 6 people that I help out with their diet and their training and that kind of thing. And that's my goal, man, because I thought I was always going to be that big fat guy who didn't care about nothing. You know what I mean? And you know, I just thought that was me. You know what I mean? I never thought I could become what I've become and what I'm on the way to being. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of other people didn't either. So it's nice to, you know, to inspire others because there's a lot of people that inspire me along the way. And it's nice to pass that on. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. No, I always I always hear people say it, and I actually say it too. Is you know, I mean, I'm sure you follow Seth Froese and listen to the podcast and all that stuff. You know, it's no problems, just work.
Exactly.
And my meaning for that is, you know, there's always someone with bigger problems than you that are working 10 times harder than you.
Exactly.
And you are a pure example of that. In my eyes, like if I bitch about anything after this, then I'm a fucking asshole. Cause
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. You know, like I say, that's the goal, man. to, pass it on what I received. So,
Yeah, I mean, someone's going to hear this that actually needs it, that's going to be in the similar situation, and
yeah.
you're going to save their life. And I hope that they contact you. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, that's some intense shit, especially being on your deathbed at a young age. I can't even imagine, never even close to that.
Yeah.
Can't imagine what the
Yeah,
feeling.
it was definitely an experience, man. And like I say, I don't have any regrets. I'm glad it happened the way I did. You know what I mean? Because maybe it didn't save another person's life. I wouldn't be the man that I am today. I wouldn't have the story. You know what I mean? Like my kids wouldn't have the story. I wouldn't. I'd just be a different person if I didn't have to go through it. Stronger because of it. So.
Yeah, and I mean, think about if it happened any other way, what would have been the outcome? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you didn't decide to go to the hospital or go to the doctors, you just waited one more day. Would you be?
Yeah, exactly. If I wouldn't have wrecked my Jeep that day, you know what I mean? I definitely, it would have been another day for me. I wouldn't have went. I would have. Somebody would have came in and found me dead the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of those blessings in disguise.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Sometimes the Lord has weird ways of sending a message and changing someone's life, but
Definitely.
you know what I mean?
But like I said, word up for the best, man. Now I got a story to tell. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah, I mean when you hit me up, then you sent me the picture and you sent me a little summary of your story. It's like, holy shit! Like I didn't even read most of it. I just read like the beginning and where you're talking about your wreck and everything. And then I'm like, man, I stopped reading because I wanted it to be real. Like I wanted to hear it from you personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I like I said, it's intense to me. Just like trying to wrap my mind around everything that happened to you because I've never had to deal with anything like that. Just the outcome of where you're at now compared to then, just blows my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I mean, it was obviously a huge life-changing experience, and not a lot of people get to go through it and be able to tell people about it. You know what I mean? So I was definitely blessed, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I guess we'll go into your workouts and all that stuff.
Right.
That's what we do.
Yep. Basically, I do like a 5-day split. I go 6 days a week, but I do a 5-day split. I do Monday chest, Tuesday shoulders, Wednesday legs, Thursday tris and bis, and Friday's back. On Saturday, I do whatever I feel like I'm lagging, whatever I feel like my weak spots are. You know what I mean? Usually for me, I do chest and arms, on my extra day just because that's what I enjoy doing. Or if I had a off week and I don't feel like I hit my legs enough or that kind of thing, I'll catch up on that Saturday or that Sunday, whichever one I go to, and just take a day off a week. I go in and try to warm up with a mile a day. I'd love to do more cardio, but I don't know. I have a hard time, getting motivated like I was because I did so much crazy cardio for so long. It's just like I just want to lift now. But I do a mile, get a mile in every day and go in and start lifting. Doing my warm up and my stretches. You know what I mean? Which is something I've learned to do over the last period of time because I've hurt myself a few times in the gym. Not doing shit smart. The right way.
Yeah, working up to it and warming up to
it. Yeah. But like I said, I go in there, man, and just try to lift pretty much every day, and I did my first almost year in a gym that was basically like a hotel gym almost. No free weights. It had some dumbbells, all the way up, only up to like 80 pounds. And it had some cables, but besides that, it was all machines and stuff like that. No bench press, nothing like that. And it was completely filled with old people. I was literally the youngest person there by like 40 years.
So it's like a small Planet Fitness.
Yeah, exactly, man. It was, and then I was working out there, and then because this is the first time I ever really worked. I mean, I played a little football while I was in school, you know what I mean? But when I was a teenager, I skateboarded, and I wasn't, you know what I mean? That was my thing, and I never really got into lifting and working out until this. And so I was kind of new to it all, and I had brought a buddy of mine, it was actually my best friend, a buddy named Will, and he came to the gym with me, and he was like, "You gotta get the fuck out of here." He said, "You gotta get you a real gym." You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right. So I go to his gym and get under the bench press, and I'm like, you know, at my gym on the Smith, I'm, you know, pushing, you know, probably 250 at the time, and I get on his, and I'm like struggling with, you know, 185 pounds. I didn't have the balance, you know. I just didn't, you know, I'd never done it before. And after that day, like the very next day, I went and joined a different gym. That I drive farther, pay more. You know what I mean? Actually, the first gym was free. And I do drive a little farther, pay for the gym now. It's 24 hours, and I've been there for about 8 or 9 months. And it's a big, nice gym. Big difference, you know what I mean? Getting under the free weights and, you know, that kind of thing.
Learning that mentality, you know, just
Yeah.
different environment and pumps you up, and
Yeah, definitely.
throwing around weights and shit.
And it's all, you know, there are people there that, you know, work out every day and work out hard, you know what I mean? And people that inspire me, you know what I mean? And a lot different than working out around a bunch of, you know, 80-year-old people, you know what I mean? And, you know, I got there and like started making mad gains, man, you know what I mean? And started lifting hard and heavy and, you know, getting strong and, you know, getting strong every day, man. Just like I say, just focusing on strength and get bigger at this point, you know, so.
Yeah, that's cool. What's your goal? Like right now I have a goal. My goals are like how much I'm lifting. You know what I mean? Because I'm just trying to. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to lift heavy too.
Yeah.
But like my first goal, I actually passed it last week. One of my goals is incline bench 315. So 3 plates incline bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I actually did that for the first time ever last week, and then now it's to get back up to 405. I did 425 a little more than a year ago, I guess, but get back up to benching 405. But now I have to create your next goal.
Yeah. Well, right now, I mean, strength is my main focus, but one of my main goals is like mobility and athleticism. Like I said, I really want to step my cardio game back up. I really want to become more mobile. I feel like I feel like I'm really tight, you know, especially around my shoulders and stuff like that. So I've been focusing on, you know, doing some more stretching, more cardio, and some even like, you know, yoga type stuff. You know what I mean? And just becoming a more athletic person because I just feel like I'm just getting strong and slow. You know what I mean? I just want to, you know, that's a big goal for me. I just want to be fast and athletic, and you know what I mean. Have, you know, plenty of cardio and, you know, that kind of thing. So.
And you're still eating good.
Yeah, I'm still eating really clean. I'm eating basically maintenance calories right now, which for me is around 3,500. Try not to really gain. I'm definitely trying not to gain any. Not really trying to lose any. Just kind of sticking to where I'm at and just, you know, continue to get stronger and stronger. Lots of protein, lots of vegetables. I did obviously start introducing carbs back into my diet. Like I went for that 6 months for that 100 pounds, basically no carbs besides what I was getting in my vegetables and stuff like that. So now I'm eating more for strength, but still watching my calories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I was eating for a cut, trying to drop weight. Now I'm, you know, eating to be strong. So.
And you're on the Action Sledge Facebook page. I'm assuming that you're a full-blown Action Sledge, or you've been taking Action Sledge supplements?
Yeah, I got into Seth Feroce probably about 6 or 8 months ago, and I seen a video of his, and I was like, "This is a cool motherfucker." You know what I mean? Like he's like some dude. Like I was like, I feel like I could kick it with this guy. So yeah, man, I try to show my support with those supplements and through his clothing and stuff like that. And I just feel like he's a real down to earth dude. You know what I mean? If anybody deserves it, you know, it's definitely him. So listen to the podcast and follow him, and he's been really inspirational to me. You know what I mean? I did a lot of my workout routines around his videos and shit like that. So
Oh yeah, he has a lot of. I mean, I implement a lot of his workouts as well.
yeah,
I didn't know. I don't know if you have you seen his like a 12-week program you could buy on the pay or on the Action Sledge website.
I've seen it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't got it, but I've seen that he is offering one or whatever.
yeah. I mean, it's a lot of his a lot of the workouts similar to the ones that are on his videos.
Yeah,
He just kind of puts in like a routine basically, and
yeah,
like I took a lot of stuff out of that. I did the routine for a while, did it for probably good like 4 months, and I've seen a lot like huge results.
yeah,
But I mean, you got to do it right. You got to eat the right food and the amount of food.
yeah,
And,
exactly.
like Jesus, but
And that's one thing I had trouble with, man, because I was going like fasting all the time, and I think that's one thing that really helped me. Like, I have very, very little loose skin. You know what I mean? I don't like a lot of people drop the kind of weight that I have, and they're all saggy, and like I don't have that. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
count a lot of that to fasting. But after fasting for so long and eating 1,200 to 2,000 calories a day, trying to up my calories was hard without like going to McDonald's or some shit. You know
well,
what I
I
mean?
mean,
To eat that many calories of clean food was hard for me to get back into.
well, yeah, and I'm sure like after eating that much, and then you narrowed it down to fasting and 1,200 calories, right? Then, I mean, your stomach probably shrunk, and it's harder to build that up, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And at this point, in order for me to lose weight, I have to go on a crazy cut. I mean, like I feel like I built up such a tolerance to eating so little, what I mean, over that 6 months or whatever, that that's one reason I struggled for so long. Like I want to cut, or no, I just want to still eat this, get strong, and I want to cut. But it's I had a hard time like sacrificing my strength to cut. You know what I mean? And like mentally, like it just fuck with me. You know what I mean? So,
I feel you there. Trust me.
um, 'cause I worked so hard to, to get to where I'm at, and I feel like I'm like finally making all these gains, and then like, other side it's like, well, you really need to cut down a little bit of weight, and the other side's like, fuck that, just keep getting stronger, get bigger, get stronger. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So that's where I'm at now.
yeah. No, it's tough. Like I said, I benched 425, and I was like, you know what, it's time to cut. So I went, and that's when I started the intermittent fasting diet.
Yeah,
And because that's like the best cutting for me. Like
yeah,
just eat instant clean, cut it or cut your diet and fucking intermittent fast. But anyways,
yeah,
so what I noticed is you sacrifice some strength with it. Because I mean, well, at least I did. I intensified my workouts instead of doing heavier, like heavy ass weight every time. I upped the intensity,
mm,
and yeah, I mean, I feel you, and it's difficult because I cut a lot. I cut a lot of weight, and I was looking good, but then I couldn't do 405 or 425 anymore. I got
yeah,
down because I stopped maxing out and find out what my max was, and then I'm like, maybe I'll start working up to 315 again and 325 and doing that again, and that's what I'm doing now. It's like
yeah.
I cut, but now I miss the strength. It's kind of psychological.
It is. It's very psychological, man. I mean, 2 days into my cut, I'm like looking in the mirror. I'm like, what the hell happened to me? You know what I mean? And I obviously look the same to everybody else, but to me, I'm like, holy shit, I'm tiny. You know what I mean? And I just,
Oh yeah, dude, we're our biggest critics, that's for sure. Like
yeah, yeah.
my wife.
I've always been a big guy. You know what I mean? Like even before I, gained all that weight, I was, in high school, I was, 6'2", 220 pounds. You know what I mean? I've always been a big dude. You know what I mean? And I'm just kind of afraid of losing that. You know what I mean? I really don't. It's kind of what I do. That's who I am. You know what I mean? That's who I want to be. So.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get it. But all right, so I appreciate your story, and like I said, you're motivating me just hearing it. Like, blows my mind. You know,
Appreciate that.
yeah, it really does. So it's impressive. It really is. So, anyways, I post this on the Facebook Action Sledge page and the demo crew page.
Mm.
We got some questions I'd like to go through, and
All right.
they're actually they're all demo crew member questions, which is if you don't know, it's the Action Sledge ambassador team. Let me get rid of all this shit. Boop. All right, so here's the post, demo crew page, and there's your transformation right there. All right, so the first question is from Nat Lyons. You probably see his videos of him running constantly.
Mm. Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, cardio king.
He's an inspirational guy, man. I wish I could make myself do that every once in a while.
Well, he's actually on. I'm having a podcast with him because he's gonna end up. I try to get inspirational stories, and he's gonna be one of them. He's gonna be on.
Yeah.
It's recording on Wednesday, so
Nice.
anyways,
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, no, I am too. So Nat Lyons, other than the weight loss, biggest accomplishment or on your fitness journey?
Definitely my strength. Like I say, I feel like I've made mad strength gains over the last 8-9 months. And my workout intensity, has become a lot more. I worked out by myself. I've never had a gym partner since I started. I have, a buddy that comes with me every once in a while, but to get over that and to be motivated by yourself and to get up, it's been a big accomplishment for me to get up every day and make myself go, even when I didn't feel like it or had other shit going on or, didn't feel good or whatever. And just to get up and go do that straight by myself every day and, stay on top of it and stick with it as far as I did, which surprises me, surprises others, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I say, strength, man. And I think that's what it's all about for me, for sure.
All right. Next one's Mike Crowley. He actually has a couple for you. Who's been your biggest support through this journey? First
one. I've had a lot of support, man. I've had a lot of support. I've started posting on Facebook from day one, you know what I mean, just to kind of keep myself accountable and everybody on my Facebook to show mad love. I guess I would have to say my buddy William Carney is his name. He's this dude, I met him bouncing. He came and I was like, that is one big motherfucker right there, you know what I mean? So I always try to surround myself with, you know what I mean, whoever was the biggest or whatever. And he's like, in his early 40s, he was a professional wrestler throughout the 90s. So he's been doing it, lifting for 30 years. He's just some big, huge, jack, scary, monster-looking motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah,
that dude's cool. I'm gonna kick it with him. And we kind of hit it off, man. And it's like my best friend, man. We talk every day, and he talks me through all my problems and keeps me on track with my workouts and keeps me accountable for my dieting. You know what I mean? And he's just been a big role model for me, man, honestly, like a big brother, man. And I definitely don't think I'd be where I am today if I wouldn't have had him, there to help me out with it. So.
Yeah, well, shout out to him. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Next one, if there was one person besides Seth to go or to get a workout with, who would it be and why?
Oh, man, that's a hard one. Probably Eddie Hall. I'm really big into the strongman thing. I think Eddie Hall is like a crazy alien from out of this world. He went from, a great swimmer to getting way out of his league and become the strongest man in the world at 6'3" and against all these giants. You know what I mean? Just totally changed everything. It went from swimmer to bodybuilder to the strongest man in the world. You know what I mean? And back to to cutting back down and just becoming shredded again and getting into the whole boxing thing now. He's just everything he touches is, he's great at it. You know what I mean? And I watch all his shit, man, and he's a extremely inspirational dude. He's definitely like goals for me. You know
Man of all trades.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, obviously he has great genetics. You know what I mean? But
that's only part of it, though.
yeah. I mean, and obviously extremely hard worker, and just he can do it all, man. And that's just crazy to me.
That's devotion. Like he gets bored of one thing. Oh, did this. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next thing I've never done before. I'm gonna start boxing now because I don't have nothing else to do.
And everything he touches turns to gold, man. He just he's the top of the game. Anything he does.
Yeah, I think didn't you have a video recently? The hardest hitter.
Yes, the boxing, and he's like he's got that fight coming up next year with Thor Bjornsson, and Thor is a good bit bigger, but I think Eddie's gonna whoop that ass for him. You know what I mean?
He's a heavy hitter.
He's just so quick, yeah, and he hits so hard, and he just I think it's gonna be that's a fight that I would like to try to actually go to.
Oh yeah,
at the very least, obviously pay-per-view it, but
it's gonna be big.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, that's good. What's your favorite Action Sledge product and favorite American-made nutrition product, and why?
That's a hard one. I mean, I've tried a few of his pre-workouts. You know what I mean? I think the last one that I had was the unicorn blood, and that was pretty intense. I love all his clothing. You know what I mean? I think the AR gear and everything like fits, hugs around the chest. Fits the arms nicely. You know what I mean? And he kind of knows what everybody's looking for. You know what I mean? Because
loose in the belly and tight on the chest.
Exactly, and that's me. That's exactly what I want. You know what I mean? Like have that belly and show off the chest and arms.
Yeah. That's how everybody wants it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I honestly ever got anything that I wasn't like extremely happy with. You know what I mean? He does good business. You know what I mean? For especially a small business guy, and I've been extremely happy with everything I got from him. That's why I like to show my support from him.
Yeah. Have you tried their American-made nutrition products yet?
I haven't actually.
It's
need to get on that.
They got really good multivitamins and greens, and they have overall. But he always like pushes for perfection and like natural ingredients and shit. I mean, that's what I love.
Yeah, that's a good thing about him, man. Everything is like obviously extremely top quality. He don't put on this shit out there. You know what I mean? Like a lot of other people.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's see. Next one is from Billy. He's a Demo Crew Elite member. What got you into the Action Sledge, All American Roughneck, and all American made nutrition brands?
Seth, man, like I say, I mean, Seth, I seen him, and the first video was like, I told my buddy Will, I was like, you gotta check this dude out. He's, just cool as shit. He looks like he would be one of the dudes at the gym. You know what I mean? And just, being attracted to his personality. You know what I mean? And listening to him, watching his videos, he's just the realest fucking dude there is, I think. And I just wanted to show him all the love and support that I could. And I started out with the clothing, and I was, extremely happy. So I started running supplements, and like I say, everything that I've got from it has just been, top quality. So
yeah, nothing.
There's a lot of work into it,
Yeah, nothing lets you down when it comes to all
exactly.
of it. I mean,
which is very rare, you know what I mean? Because I've ordered a lot of people's shit, you know what I mean? A lot of other people that I like, a lot of try to show support, and it's just, but he's definitely on top of his game,
Yeah,
head and shoulders above a lot of other people for sure.
Takes care of everybody too. That's what I love about it. Just he's so real. It's real. You know what I mean?
And everybody's like so positive, man, on all his platforms. Everybody's so cool, There's no like people talking shit or putting each other down, you know what I mean? And
if there is somebody, then everybody just fucking hammers them down and
exactly.
Feel like shit.
Exactly.
We've attacked a lot of fucking people on the Action Sledge page and the Demo Crew pages.
Yeah.
you start talking shit to somebody, you're gonna find out that this ain't the place.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that, man. That's what it's all about. That's like one of the values. Like I think he has a lot of values, man. I like his family life, you know what I mean? The hardworking motherfucker thing, you know what I mean? That's how I was raised, you know what I mean? To get out there and sweat and do what you got to do to take care of you and your family, and just his local business values, and just, you know what I mean? He just, you know, a really good guy. He's like good people, I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just a good dude.
Yeah.
Next question from Billy. Did you get into them all at once or at the same time? I think you kind of already covered that. You said you got into the clothing and following them, and then you got into the supplements.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which Action Sledge product is your favorite, and what is your favorite flavor of that product?
That's a hard one. Like I say, honestly, the one that sticks out in my head mostly is the uniform blade. That shit was intense, you know what I mean? Like took that and fucking face set on fire, and you know what I mean, and just fucking did work, you know what I mean? So that one sticks out in my head. So it's kind of a staple for me. So I guess I'll go with that.
Yeah, you like his stem pre-workout ignition switch, and
yes, yeah. Like I say, everything that I've tried of his is awesome. You know, really no beating it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing but good things to say about it for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, is there? I mean, I think we covered everything. Is there anything you want to say to the listeners? Like I said, I try for this podcast. I try to at least reach that one person that needs it. You know what I mean? Whether you're followers or not, whatever, or likes that. You know, as long as that one person that actually needs it hears it and it changes their life, and your story can hit that person hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it hit me hard, so I'm just hearing it.
Well, like I said, we're talking to people, man, helping people out, and I encourage anybody, like, send me a friend request, send me a DM, you know what I mean, hit me up, like, any questions, anything you want to know, or any way I can help you out, you know what I mean, and show support. I just want to pass on, you know, what I've received. So, and it's never, like I said, it's never too late. Like I say, I thought I was, you know, just that guy, you know what I mean, and a lot of people say it, you know, it may sound cheesy, but I feel like if I could do it, like, you know, anybody can. So
Yeah.
It's all about the work, man. It's, you know, every day, it's fucking grind every single day. There's no no days off. There's no bullshit. And, you know, you got to wake up with that mindset every fucking day you wake up. You know,
it goes back to that. Pick your 16. You know,
yeah.
Pick your 16 hours in the day to work your ass off, and then you get that little last couple hours to relax.
Yeah, exactly.
But all right, brother. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing. I know it's got to be some things that you talk about. I'm sure it just brings back memories and it hits home for you again. And I appreciate you sharing for sure.
Yeah, man. No problem. I appreciate you having me.
No, of course, brother. I mean, that's why we do this, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, again, for everybody listening, this podcast is for all the hardworking motherfuckers out there, all the guys with the inspirational story, just like John here. And like, subscribe, share this podcast, so that way we actually reach that one person that actually needs this podcast and that's going through some kind of hardship in their life. I mean, if they're sitting there on their deathbed and they need to hear something, this is one that'll hit home for them. No kidding. Even just losing weight, I think it'll hit home for them. So, I appreciate it, John. I really do.
Sure.
Like I said, everybody like and share this podcast. It's been a blast, John. I will
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I'll be keeping in touch.
All right, cool, man. I appreciate you.
All right, brother.
All right. Thanks, man.